You've had hecklers across the fence, though, at your shows.
I've had all kinds of hecklers.
Because Kel's in an open space in Gluttony, which is just like a shipping container, and then the audience is under a tree, and then the rest of Adelaide is open to watch it at the same time.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's whack-a-mole.
This is Legends with Bevo, thanks to Anytime Fitness Glenelg and Renelec Electrical Services. And now here's your host, Bevo.
Well, welcome to Legends with Bevo, and what a pleasure it is all the way from Darwin to have Amy Hetherington here.
Hey.
Great to have you on. And Kel Balnaves, Adelaide born, of course, from the Adelaide Hills in Birdwood, one of my stomping grounds there as well.
Come a long way to be here, Bevo.
I played for the Birdwood Roosters back in the day. So,
did you?
Yes, that's how I know, obviously, Smitty and your mate Smitty. We'll get to in a moment. So.
Birdwood Oval, built upside down. The camber goes that way.
It's definitely like that. And it's very, very cold in winter. So I don't think you'd be a big fan of it coming from Darwin, Amy.
No, I've been complaining about your summer so far. I had to go to the odd shop, buy some jackets. It's been wild, I tell you. Not used to it.
And it's 26 today, which is not too bad. But
26 is a nighttime temperature for me.
Yeah. To be fair, it should be 36.
Should be 36.
Usually at this time of the year.
I think everyone talked up summer. Hasn't happened.
Yeah.
It's been a bit taking the piss, hasn't it? Like, I know what you guys do well, but the weather's been taking the piss. One week it's got 40s and then it's 20s and it's raining and who knows.
I thought that was a Melbourne thing. You guys trying to be more Melbourne now that Melbourne can't be open.
Yeah, I was like, why do we keep copying them? Who cares?
We are very much a mini Melbourne, I think. In a lot of ways,
but open and having a good time, right?
Yeah, this is true. But
you can actually dance here. They can't dance there.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
Come on, they're more coordinated than that.
Probably one of the only times Melbourne's actually jealous of us. So, but we should get to both of your shows. And Amy, your show is called Don't Feed the Ducks, and it's doing great things over here in the Adelaide Fringe. You're actually in the Rhino Room.
Yep.
And tell us more about the show, all about it.
Yeah, so Don't Feed the Ducks is a bit of an overshare about stuff that's going on in my life. It's about how white wine is the greatest enabler of all time and why dogs are better than people. It's a strong opinion that I've got that I stand by day by day.
Point.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it's really important that I let people know that it isn't about ducks, because I have had some people come to the show expecting aquatic bird themed material for an hour and been very disappointed in the fact that there's only one duck joke in the whole thing.
I thought maybe you dressing up as a duck would be a good thing as well, perhaps.
Well, look, I mean, there's some good costume stores in Adelaide. Maybe I'll go get myself a pluck a duck sort of situation. And
when you did Darwin Entertainment Centre, didn't you have a giant duck descend from
the I got to do the
ceiling?
show at the Entertainment Centre in Darwin for 500 people. And because I had that many, I decided to go all out. And we got a giant blow-up duck that is like the size of this table, which is hard to get across in a podcast. But it's huge bloody duck. And we got this person on the staff just for the day to make it descend from the roof.
That's cool.
It added nothing to the show other than helping my ego, so it's great.
That's good.
And obviously, you mentioned before as well that the show is called Don't Feed the Ducks.
Yes.
And I've been doing a bit of research, which I always do on my guests, and we'll get to Kel's show in a moment. But you're actually one of those ladies who wants to have kids. But the show, now correct me if I've got this wrong, but it's sort of about people that having kids but doing it wrong. Am I correct in saying that? Is that right?
Well, yeah, I've been to Elizabeth. I know that there's a lot of problems over that way. But look, I mean, it's about the fears of when you become an adult and you realise that all these things and these steps in your life, it's a really scary thing every time you make a further decision along that pathway. And I think the idea of the show is that people come along and don't feel so bad about their mistakes. That's the idea of that hour. I don't want anyone coming along feeling like it's pointing at everybody. But the idea is at the end we embrace our mistakes and, just accept them because they make us human.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that was a bit wholesome and sweet, wasn't it?
Very cool. And how long is the show going for and where can we see it?
Well, it has all sold out. So actually there's not much I can actually do to promote that. But I've got lots of other gigs happening around the Adelaide Fringe and popping up around the place and come back a little bit every now and again. Yeah.
Amy Hetherington, there we go. That name's going to be certainly around for a long time, I reckon.
Yeah, so. Yeah. It's nice to say it's sold out. That makes me feel nice and relaxed. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though you've only got 20 people. No.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm literally doing the show in a cupboard and there is 20 seats in there.
I was only taking the piss, actually.
No.
I'm not even a comedian. Maybe I should be. But.
You've legitimately hit the nail on the head then and reminded everybody that I may have an ego, but it is not validated in any way.
I actually feel terrible about that. I was actually I was only joking. But
there's something beautiful about doing a show to 20 people, especially some show that's that vulnerable and intimate. It makes a massive difference to that content. It's pretty cool.
Well, you had to change gears because you did 250 people in Alice Springs.
Yeah.
And then like 2 nights later.
Yeah, literally. Like I've only done this show to either over 200 or 20. So it's been
Wow.
real.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You've never had that intermediate number.
No,
The 500 you mentioned before with the
Yeah,
ducks.
500. Yeah,
That's intense. But
yeah, famous in Darwin. I don't know if it translates as much down here.
And Kel, we better get to you, local boy. You're a mechanic by trade, and your show is useful. Has that got something to do with the mechanic side of things, or tell us more about
that? Well, not specifically this show. Like, I'm an engineer, and I've worked in automotive for ages. And yeah, so I market as see, a lot of artists are not useful people, Bevo. All right?
He didn't have to make eye contact with me when he said that. Hey,
No,
that's rude.
I have now. And like, so Amy's show is called Don't Feed the Ducks, whereas I would have worked out a way to feed them. So,
If you haven't seen the show, we feed the ducks at the end of it.
I know, I still haven't seen it because we're on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just because of my background. I mean, to be fair, Bevo, there was a deadline to register a show. You need a title. That's what it's called. But I market as a useful bloke. I'm a practical sort of person. So yeah, and the show just all your shows that you write, they just stem from your experiences. And so I've just gone through a year because I was a full-time comedian, and then all of a sudden last year none of us were. So I just had to make myself useful in some way, and I made a lot of homebrew and bought a motorbike. Well, that's two things I really did. I don't know if they're useful, but I did them.
But he's been pretty humble about this, right? He's made himself so useful that he's just won the best comedy at the Adelaide Fringe for this week with his show.
Round of
So
applause. Well done.
that useful, went from having nothing to just being an award-winning show. Like,
Tell you what, that award may well be very useful.
Yeah, that's super impressive. And you guys obviously know each other quite well. Where's that sort of background come from?
Well, I reckon we met. It escalated, but we met probably when you come down for Fringe one time, I reckon.
Yeah,
like
I've been
years
coming down
ago.
for about 6 years for the Fringe Festival.
We used to do the producers bar. Like, there was a whole group of us that did shows there. I reckon that was the first time.
Yeah, probably.
And then I've been up to Darwin and done the Fringe up there. I'm hoping I can do it again. And yeah, so that's just.
Yeah,
really just
we've
grown
also
from
got
there.
a pretty good Facebook group chat where we hang shit on each other. Like, that's kind of where it has escalated. It's gone from there.
That's great.
and-
That's what a true friendship's all about.
Yeah, and last year we went to the hills and we all got drunk, so that's generally how a friendship starts.
Oh,
doesn't
that's
it?
right
Yeah,
too.
that's-
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
That was good. Because I'm quite dry and sarcastic, but Amy's really good at making like friends with everyone. But I should do it the other way because Amy knows everyone. So she'll come to your home state and go, oh, I know the people that own this place, and they'll give us free stuff. And I was like, Christ, I only live around the corner from there. How do you
that's
know
what
better
happened.
than me?
We got free pizza and gin. That
that was
a pretty
so good.
trip.
Yeah,
Well, there you go, mate. If you're a single man, Kel, as well, so
yeah.
she'll probably hook you up with some girls by the sounds of it as well. So.
She'll know everyone. She'll know more. Yeah, I have to run everyone past her.
I'm pleased with that power. That works for
Yeah,
me.
That's very good. Now I'm giving you both the opportunity now to dish a bit of dirt on each other here today. So Amy, obviously ladies before gentlemen, I'll get you to start. Tell us.
You just heard that I do the nice thing. I don't actually do anything mean. It's hard to say anything mean about Kel. He's such a sweetheart, right?
That's not what you said in the group chat.
Oh, no, dirt on Kel. I should have actually asked you for something, but I don't know. Like, he's a bit of a whinger. Like, one thing that's like, he's pretty good at a whinge. He'll sook
I
about
do
stuff.
whinge. I cracked the shits the other day because I said I make a lot of homebrew, and I woke up the other day and one of the taps on me bars leaked everywhere. And Amy didn't quite understand. She said, oh, you're just whinging about cleaning. I was like, no, it's fucking everywhere.
Because all I got is like the first message of the day. Guess what happened to me? And I was like, oh, hello, how are you? How's your day going?
Never mind that. Shut up. Look,
I need to tell somebody about
my
how crap my
stout taps
morning's
leaked
been.
everywhere.
Which, I sympathise for 2 seconds and then went, all right, cool, good for you, go clean it up.
And suck it up, buttercup kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You live in the hills, you're an hour away. What do you want me to do about it? I'm going to continue shopping.
Oh,
Goodbye.
the pain was real that day.
That's some good dirt there, Kel. Well, what about Amy? Your turn now to fire back.
Why is she so insufferably positive all the time? I'm just waiting. People like that crash and burn. I'm just waiting for it. She's one day that grin's going to become psychopathic. I'm waiting.
Yeah, you'll probably be there when it happens, to be
Oh no, I'll be
honest.
I know.
You'll be the person that pushes me over the edge.
One thing that always fascinates me as well is where the comedy the comedy dream or the comedy passion all started. So, Amy, we'll start with you.
Yep.
When did you sort of first want to become a comedian, and what made you want to decide to be?
Oh, look, I've always loved attention. Like most of my life, I've been the centre of attention. But comedy was an accident for me. I was doing October up in Darwin, where you do a month off alcohol, raising money for Healthy Harold, the giraffe that teaches kids about drugs and alcohol in a white van.
In Darwin.
In Darwin, right?
You were the only person doing that.
Yeah, right. But I was doing October, and my gimmick was dare me to do something you'd never do sober. And somebody was like, I'd never do stand-up comedy sober, and they put $100 down. So I did a set and was good and loved it. And then from there, I haven't really stopped, and now it's one of the main things that I do with my time. So it was all accidental at the beginning. But I think that's one of those cool things. You say yes to stuff that's a bit out of your comfort zone, and you learn more about yourself, and you find things that fit for you. So there's lessons in that positivity that help.
Great story. And what about yourself, Kel?
I did it when I was at uni. I just missed. So when I was at high school, I did stand up at high school when I look back. I didn't think it was at the time, but when I look back, it probably was. And then when I was at uni, I just wanted something different because I did engineering and it's dry as fuck. So I did what did I do? I just signed up to do the open mic night at the Rhino Room, which was when I was back on Frome Street, and the guy that ran it, he stood as Craig Egan. He said, I wanted to know if I could just give it a go sometime, and he said, "How about tonight?" All right. Luckily, I'd kind of been sort of working out some stuff, so I went and did it, and it went fine. Like, I didn't tell anyone. I did it a couple of times, and then I did raw comedy, and it just went from there.
So you went and did shows and didn't tell anybody about it?
Yeah, because I wanted to see if I could make strangers laugh.
Yeah.
That was more important.
How's that contrast? I found out I was doing it. I told everybody.
Yeah,
I stacked the audience.
There's two ways. You either tell no one or you tell everyone.
Yeah,
and I told no one. Yeah.
Yep.
One thing that always, I guess, one thing I admire about comedians, and I must admit, when I was younger, I thought about being a stand-up comedian as well, and people sort of said,
Bevo.
I'm a funny sort of guy. But how do you actually, as a comedian, when you think something's funny but no one laughs? It
depends on the audiences too. Like weddings are tough. Like weddings and corporate gigs, those kind of things. Like I've done corporate events with 300 people and had nothing. Like the material's fine, but it's just people aren't really in the mood to laugh. I think you can address it in a funny way to get that laugh if you do it like in a clever way. But I don't know. You kind of I don't know. I prepare my self-esteem a little bit beforehand, knowing that it can happen.
Yeah, that's tough too because you did a wedding.
Yeah.
The best man speech or the maid of honour, they get a bit more rope with that. If you're MC, that's tough.
Yeah.
And we get to try stuff like in a low risk situation where if you go, it doesn't work out well, doesn't matter. Like you might try it at an open mic night or something. If it doesn't work, who cares? Ditch it or fix it. Yeah.
So you have to be be pretty strong and stuff. Like, and what's the word?
Resilient.
Yeah, resilient. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want to build up your resilience, do comedy.
Yeah,
right?
100%. And how do you guys both go? I guess we'll start with you, Amy, with hecklers. What's the way you approach it with hecklers?
I'm pretty lucky that most of the hecklers I get are people that are trying to help. Like they're just people that are having a good time and just get themselves involved. I've had some weird hecklers at Adelaide Fringe late shows. I don't know, sometimes people see a young girl up on stage and sometimes some of the things that they say after 20 rums aren't really well thought out. But no, I've been called the saber-tooth Care Bear for some of the ways that I've dealt with some hecklers in the past, and that's been enough of a reputation to make people stop heckling me. But most of the time I just make friends with them. Like I can destroy somebody with kindness almost.
That's really nice and impressive.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
Because most comedians probably are thinking the opposite. They just want to embarrass these people in front of their friends and family.
I can't do mean. I can't do it. No.
Well done.
Thanks.
And Kel, yourself, how do you deal with it?
I don't worry about them. Like they can't hurt you. Like you're going to wake up the next day, be all right. Like, and that's fine. If they want to heckle me, that's fine. I don't care.
You've had hecklers across the fence, though, at your shows.
I've had all kinds of hecklers.
Because Kel's in an open space in Gluttony, which is just like a shipping container, and then the audience is under a tree, and then the rest of Adelaide is open to watch it at the same time.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's fuckwit, whack-a-mole. They yell at you. That's fine. They can.
Yeah. That and a recorder in the middle of your show. A recorder starts playing.
Oh, yeah, in the next show.
It's my favourite heckle.
That was for year 2.
Yeah.
In primary school. Oh no, arts festival.
Yeah.
Register that.
Yeah. It's a wild outdoor venue. You get to hear a
Yeah.
bit of everyone else's show during Kel's. It's pretty fun.
And obviously, you're doing great things to get that award. So you must obviously the right people are listening in.
It's all the recorder.
Yeah.
Paying out the recorder. That's what's done it.
I reckon it's the time that Monkey Dance came on and you were like, is this that Monkey Dance song?
Oh, is that what I said?
Yeah.
Instead of Dance Monkey, did I say Monkey Dance? Oh no, that's
You crushed that reference.
Yep,
That's
got
okay.
that. At least I recognised it. I knew what I meant.
Yeah, that's right. And where do you guys generally get the material from for your shows as well?
Life experience
Life,
for
yeah,
me. Yeah,
same. You can't. Like every time I've tried to do a certain type of comedy that isn't about stuff that I know, it never lands. And I think the more you bowl in your own lane, the more likely it is you're going to get a strike. So you do stuff about things that you know, things you experience, things that are authentic,
Yep.
maybe a little bit vulnerable with a bit of that silliness in there, and that's where people tend to laugh.
yeah.
So yeah, anytime I try to do something that isn't me, it never works.
No, authentic was the key word there.
Yep.
There, the audience reads that.
Yep.
They know when you're not. Yeah, they know when you're doing something like you didn't do that,
Yeah.
or yeah, that's not how you'd react.
Or you don't actually have that. Like I've tried to do like more political stuff because I feel like if you've got a voice, you should be using it. But every time I try, it just doesn't quite land, and I have
Yeah.
to do it in a certain way to
Yeah.
even get that through.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it's the more like things happen in your life, and then you write jokes about it. So if you're traveling, maybe you're getting jokes from you traveling. If you're, studying or whatever, it's sort of like that's where the real stuff is. And I think that's the best thing about comedy is it's taking real life and making it
yeah. Well,
fun.
that's all you can sell is your own spin on something.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But the thing I find as well, like you'd say a funny story like that, say me and my mates find funny, but then if I was to go and do a comedy show and then say that to people that don't know me, like
No,
the
it
same
won't
as that,
work.
it
No,
won't work.
it's
So
different.
Yeah, so feeding off the audience is probably a big one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and knowing when to put a punchline in. That's the other thing. So, like, a lot of jokes and premises start with a funny story or a funny idea, but you got to know when to hit points and give the audience a space to laugh and give them something to laugh at. So, a long story that has a funny thing that happens at the end is a long time for people to wait to laugh. You got to dish them up stuff on the way. It's like, it's not a main course. It's like a tiny little degustation kind of vibe to get you through the whole thing. You got to have lots of laughs and not just one at the end.
Yeah.
And Amy, outside of comedy, you also have your own PR firm. Want to give that a bit of a plug today?
Yeah, Amiable Communications, if anyone's ever looking for stuff in Darwin. So I do marketing events and I do a lot of facilitation and workshops for people. So the whole premise of the business is if I can make things more fun, I'll do that work. So it's a mix of my journalism and film degree and my comedy all kind of in one thing, basically.
And do you have ambitions of sort of with taking your journalism degree in terms of from a TV perspective? Like, could we see you on Channel 9 News or 7 News
Look,
one
if
day?
somebody's going to book me to do things, sweet. But I'm pretty stubborn in that I want to be Darwin based. I don't want to chase things. I find the more I chase things that aren't existing within a community that I feel a part of, the less happy I am. So for me, I make a massive difference in Darwin. So that's where my joy actually is. So I'm happy being, Darwin famous and doing all these gala events and stuff like that because there are no TV celebrities up there. So it works quite well.
Nice.
But yeah, I think, the more it's focused in a community where you can see the difference your work makes and you can get back from that, that's where happiness is. And I think that's a bit more important for me.
Yeah, you have a good grasp of that. It's good.
Pretty wise, hey?
Yeah.
And where to from here, guys? Like what going forward is happening in 2021? Fingers crossed there's no COVID outbreak.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
The two of us are going to be heaps famous by the end of this year. That's the plan, right? Yeah?
Can you sort that for me?
I'll work on it.
Uh,
I was planning on following you to fame because you're the award winner now.
all right,
so.
bugger it. We'll both do it.
Yeah.
We'll jump off the cliff, build
Should
the
both
wings
do a
on the
show
way down.
together, I reckon. That'd be pretty cool.
We've talked about doing a split bill tour.
We were going to do it last year,
Yeah.
but we got obviously stopped by this little thing that broke out. And so, yeah, we might do that because, it was going to happen. Yeah, we'll get it happening. Yeah, so I think for me, and I'm assuming the same for you, is the idea is just we're getting back in the water. So we're trying to, because you lose a lot of your, to be honest, you lose a lot of your confidence like when there's not as much work on. So the Adelaide Fringe has just been huge. There's nothing else in the world going on like this at the moment. So we're so lucky. So now you're trying to go, okay, well, how can we just stretch this a bit further? What other work can we get happening? I'd like to do a lot more regional touring. I think that'd be good.
I think regional touring's where it's at.
Yep.
Like after the Northern Territory leg of my tour, which was just full of people looking for things to do, I think there's heaps of people out there that aren't in the cities that are looking for
Yeah.
stuff. So I think a bit of touring, bit of what other opportunities are there after a really good fringe run. Like
Yeah.
when you do a fringe run like this, when you're proud of your work, you want to capitalise on it and go do
Definitely.
something after.
And if people listening out there that have some suggestions that want to see us in their town, let us know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll
yeah.
give you both a good plug on socials and that for
Yeah,
sure. So,
by all means, we'd
yeah.
love to come out there. And I might do what you did in reverse, as in Amy did an NT. Oh, you didn't get to do SA because you got some other big gig booked, but you were going to do like all the way down the Stewart Highway, and I'm going to do it all the way up.
Oh, very cool.
I've done it once before. I'm going to do it again. So yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to following both your journeys the next 12 months and going forward and hopefully chat again in the future. Your show, Don't Feed the Ducks, is going great guns, and unfortunately it's sold out, but I'm sure we'll see you again in the future. So thanks for joining us today.
Thanks very much, Bevo.
And Kel, also great to have you on, and well done again on your award this week as well, mate.
Thank you. No, and if people want to come check me out, I've got extra shows added in the final week of the Fringe. If they just look for Kel Balnaves useful, they'll find them.
Awesome. Thanks so
Bevo.
much, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Sounds so good.